Sarah Fields is suing Charleston White and Tiffany Binion. Have you heard about the Gen Z stare? Carmelo Anthony supporters are unhinged on TikTok. We're getting into all of it. I'm Tamera. You're watching the Tamera Nealy Show. I would like to welcome back all my returning subscribers. And if you're new here, I would like to let you know I'm happy you're here. All right, y'all. So before we get into today's video, I want to say a word of prayer because on this show, we believe that prayer is not our last resort. It is our first resort. And there are so many things going on in today's world. And a lot of the things going on can feel overwhelming. And feel just, when I look at the stories that we've been covering, sometimes I'm a little bit taken back, like, wow. And so I think that it's important to go before God, in prayer because he cares about us. And that's what I want you guys to remember as we face these challenges and the times we're living in, because like I always say on this show, we are living in an upside down world. So let's quickly say a word of prayer. Lord, I thank you for today. I thank you for each and every listener watching this video. Lord, I just pray that you bless them, Lord God. Give them peace and give them wisdom as they face their day-to-day life. And I just pray for each and every topic that we're going to cover today. Lord, I just ask you to just shine light on each and every topic. Lord, give us wisdom as we continue to move along in our lives, and help us to just continue to trust you and depend on you. In Jesus' name, amen. So let's go ahead and get into today's show. All right, y'all. So we are going to be covering quite a few topics on today's show. I happen to be on TikTok and just looking at my feed, and I happened to come across this video that had 3.3 million likes. And then I happened to see more videos that were based on this same topic. Apparently, there is a Gen Z stare. I'm Gen Z, okay? I'm 23 years old, and I want to kind of watch this a little bit with you, and I guess I'll let you know, do I think there's a Gen Z stare or not? And why is there a Gen Z stare if there is one? Okay, so let's just go ahead and watch it.
Ooh, Gen Z just does the Gen Z stare. They don't know how to talk to people. Fair. A lot of Gen Z don't know how to talk to people, but a lot of older generations talk too much, too rudely, and too proudly while being too stupid. I cannot tell you. You have to work in the food industry to fully grasp how stupid people can. I remember one day I was serving this customer. She's ordering a burger. She was like, okay, I want this cheeseburger with no cheese on it. My first red flag. Then she says, I want to have pepper jack on this burger. I look at her, I'm confused. I'm like, ma'am, you said you didn't want cheese on your burger? She says, yes. I said, ma'am, are you talking about like specific cheeses or like you just don't want any cheese on your burger? She says, yes. I said, ma'am, are you aware pepper jack is the type of cheese we offer? She looks at me and she scoffs like dumb. And she's like, clearly I'm not talking about the cheese then. Then what are you talking about? And I was like, okay, ma'am, we don't offer anything that's pepper jack except for cheese. She said,
okay, I'm just going to say this. I'm that type of person who's known for being pretty friendly. I'm not saying that to toot my own horn or anything like that, but I usually make friends with people just out in the community, and I enjoy being friendly. So when I'm hearing this and I'm listening to this young woman, first of all, if she said it like this, her customer service skills are terrible, okay? Which is a problem in today's generation, because every single time, it seems like lately, I've been going out to these different restaurants and everything, and tell me why the customer service is just terrible. And it's just like crazy to me. And I don't know. I just wanted to add that. Let's keep watching this video. Like I said, it had 3.3 million views, or at least 3.3 million likes. So obviously the world's talking about it.
Put pepper jack on the burger. Y'all have done it before. I want the pepper jack that's not the cheese. And I'm like, I really don't know what this lady talking about. But I'm like, okay. So ma'am, I'm putting the pepper jack that we offer on your burger. She says, yes. Are you deaf? That's what I just said. Okay. So her order comes out. I give it to her. She opens the burger. She says, what is cheese doing on my burger? I said, ma'am, you said to put pepper jack on your burger. But she asked me, are you dumb? I said, not the cheese. And like she starts going on this whole spiel. I clocked out immediately. I was like, let me go get my manager. She has this whole conversation with the manager, all upset, calling me all types of names. Manager pulls me to the side and said, oh, she was asking for fried jalapenos on her burger. I'm sorry. Is there Is there a world that I'm not from where pepper jack is fried jalapenos? I've had a person get mad at me because their iced tea was too cold. I really don't know what these people want from me. Of course, I'm gonna just start staring at you. I'm staring at you like you're dumb. You're stupid because you are.
So,
Oh my God. Either that person is dumb or you have bad customer service, ma'am. It is a communication issue. And as the sales representative, as the customer service representative, it is your job to make sure the customer is happy. Now, I'm going to tell a quick story. I'm that type of person who enjoys going to Cava. If you don't know what Cava is, it's a Mediterranean kind of fast food restaurant, but not fast food. Like you can go in and sit down and everything. Well, I went to Cava last week or 2 weeks ago. And I go in there and I wanted some of these fried pita bread chips that they have, and I noticed that my pita bread chips were cold, and I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going to be paying for cold pita chips, so here you go. And so I tell the lady, hey, these are cold, you know, can I get some fresh ones? She says, yes, you can go throw those away though. Keep in mind, the trash is way across the restaurant. I have on stilettos. No, ma'am, I'm not walking over there to throw it away. You are supposed to be serving the customer. I've been in the customer service industry before. If the customer has asked me to do something or is not happy with something, I'm going above and beyond to make that customer happy. But now we live in a generation where people just don't understand the importance of customer service skills. So I'm Gen Z, but I feel like, first of all, I have friends from all different generations. If you look at my friends, you'll be like, wow. I have friends from like every generation. At least the past 3 or 4 generations. Let's see, Gen Z, Millennial, Generation X, Silent Generation. I don't know if I have friends from the Silent Generation, but my great grandma, can she be considered my friend? I don't know. Anyways, let's watch this next video of this Gen Z stare, and then let's go ahead and get into some updates regarding Sarah Fields and the lawsuit that she's in with Charles White. Okay, so let's watch this.
Glad that the older generations are calling out my generation, Gen Z, for being so socially immature. Finally, y'all invented this weird ass Gen Z stare. Y'all know the one. You ask someone a simple question like, hey, do you need some help looking for something today? It just hits you with this dumb, confused, deer in headlights type of look, as if you just committed some egregious crime by simply asking them, treating them with basic human decency. Imagine having to grow up with these people, having to live around these people, being forced to commune with these people, being forced.
Oh my gosh, he's being a little bit dramatic, but we get what he's trying to say. Gen Z does not have the greatest social skills. And, you know, I'm an older Gen Z. I'm older as far as like, I'm at kind of the beginning of Generation Z's generation. Does that make sense? And so it's just like, it seems to be getting worse and worse and worse. I feel like our generation is just, I miss the wholesomeness that I experienced when I was a child. It's like I experienced a whole different world. And then COVID happened and this world has become even more crazy. It's just like, I don't know. I look at Generation Z and everything that we've been going through, and I don't mean to paint us as victims because we're not. Every generation has their things that they go through, but it's just like, I feel like our generation is just almost being left behind in a way. When you look at what's happening in the high schools, a lot of Generation Z students cannot even read or write. Some of the Generation Z students have even missed out on several years of schooling because of COVID. And so Generation Z is so behind in many ways, including their social cues and awareness. Okay. So I think that needs to change. If you ever go to my university, the university I graduated from, University of Oklahoma, I think that the Gen Z stare is very prevalent on that university campus. I'm that type of person. If I see somebody, I'm going to smile. I'm going to probably wave. I'm going to be nice. I don't care if you're a stranger or not. Just kind of be friendly, you know? But on that campus, I'm telling you, people just look at you. They don't smile. They don't wave. They don't do anything. No high fives, no nothing. And it's just like, wow, we need to do better as a society. If you want to have a great experience in life, you've got to be a part of creating that great experience. How do you create that great experience? By being friendly, by being social. Just smile at somebody. I even told my friend this, like, because she's like, Tamera, how do all these people just talk to you? Smile at them. Be friendly. Be open. And you'll go far in life, okay? So let's finish watching this and let's go to the next topic.
Go to school with these types of people. So yes, at 27 years old, I'm completely fed the up with Gen Z. My generation is so emotionally constipated. Every single social interaction turns into this like awkward, tension-filled mess. Oh, and when you decide to call it out or you change your behavior, you don't play into their weird-ass little mind
It seems like the wind is kind of blowing behind him.
games. They call you the weird. They say you're the one that's being weird. Like, what the fuck? Like, how am I weird when you just stared at me for simply asking if you needed some help finding some items? And I don't know what type of message that they're trying to convey when they do this shit. It's like, bro, I walked up to you because you were looking lost. And now that you're looking at me like this, you look even more lost. With this idiotic look on your face, what the f*** do you want me to do? Why does my generation have this weird obsession with trying to embody bougie, stuck-up cat behavior, while at the same time being the most lame, goofy, uncool, insufferable people in the room? I don't know where my generation got this from, but let me be the first to tell y'all, being awkward is not cool. It's not a personality trait, it's just a weirdo. Making other people feel weird for initiating conversation with you, it's not hip, it's not trendy. Just publicly make yourself look like a dumb. You think it's okay because you have your two little friends with you who want to co-sign on this guy's behavior, but they're weirdos too. Like I said, bro, I'm just happy that the older generations are finally calling out Gen Z for being the lame, goofy mother they have been my whole entire life. They just been getting away with it because up until this point in their lives, I have been the only person in these rooms to tell them about themselves. Gen Z is the only generation outside the boomers who have gaslit and convinced themselves that their shit doesn't stink. If there ever were a more equally delusional generation of people outside the boomers, Gen Z. People say like Gen Z is the new boomers. We're gonna grow up to be the boomers. I 100% believe them.
Do y'all agree with him? I don't know. I think Generation Z, we know that Generation Z is a very conservative generation. We've got a lot of things going for us. We voted for Trump. You know, we understand that, okay, being like the millennials is not in our best interest, but do you think he's making some points? I don't know if I want to go super extreme and say yeah or no, but I think that this is a conversation that needs to be had, and I'm excited that people are having it. So anyways, let's go ahead and go to the next topic. All right, y'all. So Sarah Fields is in the process of suing Charleston White. If you don't know who Sarah Fields is, she is one of the top reporters on the Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf case. If you're new here, we have been covering the Austin Metcalf Carmelo Anthony case since the beginning. This case has been going on for over 2 months. There have been several updates, and Sarah Fields has been responsible for those updates. Well, since the first press conference that Dominique Alexander, Carmelo Anthony's spokesperson, did with Carmelo Anthony's parents, Sarah Fields has been under attack like never before. You may be wondering why. It's because Dominique Alexander attacked Sarah Fields in front of the entire world. He exposed her name, which led to her getting doxxed, and I mean, her family going through so many ups and downs. She's 8 months pregnant, 8 or 9 months pregnant, and she is tired and fed up of people attacking her because she's doing her job as a journalist. Charleston White came out and attacked Sarah Fields. He made a video about a week and a half ago, maybe a little bit more, where he was just attacking Sarah Fields reporting on the case, trying to intimidate her so she can stop reporting on the case. Everything that Sarah Fields has been reporting has been factually backed up. Okay? She has shown us the police report. She has shown evidence when she has posted things. There have been a couple things that I didn't know about that she had posted that I didn't personally speak on. But for the most part, she has been totally good. Okay. As far as her reporting goes, they are attacking her personal life and things that she's had going on. I don't want to get into that. I don't really like drama and things like that. So it's already enough that we're talking about this topic. It's just ridiculous because this case isn't about this case is not about Sarah Fields. This case is not about Charleston White. This case is not about Dominique Alexander. It's not about Carmelo Anthony, even though he is the suspect in the case. This case is about getting justice for Austin Metcalf. And it's just been craziness after craziness after craziness. And people are taking their attention off the victim in the case who has unfortunately passed away. And they are putting it on dragging their attention to, Carmelo Anthony, the suspect in the case, and defending him. And so this has become very problematic. There are two updates that I want to update you on the case. Let's go ahead and get started into this one. So Sarah Fields gets on X and she says, I believe it is long past time for race-baiting grifters to face the consequences of their words. Since the beginning of April, I have reported on the Anthony case with accuracy and detailed precision, supported by court documents, open records responses, and through research. Because of this, activists and Carmelo Anthony defenders have done everything they can to silence the truth. These influencers have chosen to support Carmelo based solely on the color of his skin while attempting to intimidate and threaten those who have revealed the truth about Austin Metcalf's murder. Before we continue, please be sure to hit the like button. Also, make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell so you're notified when new videos come up. Okay, let's continue. I have been doxxed, threatened, harassed, and targeted by individuals within the celebrity influencer world. I have been doxxed, threatened, harassed, and targeted by individuals within the celebrity and influencer world. BLM, Antifa, and the Guerrilla Mainframe. Okay, I don't know who that is. My church has been targeted. My family has been targeted. My reputation as a journalist has been targeted. Charleston White and Tiffany Billions have accused me of illegally obtaining private information and documents from the Collin County Courthouse in an interview that has now been viewed over 800,000 times, not counting clips taken from it and spread across the internet. Charleston White claimed that I was a prostitute and a meth addict and that I sold myself for meth. I have been called a white supremacist, a child abuser, and racist bigot. I'm officially fatigued. The attacks on my reporting and character simply because of the color of my skin are unacceptable in America. Now, we have been hearing quite a few white people, and I'm only saying white people because it's relevant for what she's saying. I'm not that type of person who likes to focus on skin color all the time and make everything about race. I don't like all that. But obviously, this is important because of what she's saying. I've been hearing a lot about this white fatigue and white people feeling like they're tired of how they're being treated by black people. This case has created a race war. And one thing that I want you guys to remember is that we are the human race. We are the human race, okay? We all bleed the same. Y'all are going to the same restaurants. You're going to the same movie theaters. You're drinking out of the same water fountains if you still drink out of water fountains. I don't drink out of water fountains because I only drink spring water, and a lot of times that's Ozorka, okay? So I'm not a water fountain fan, but either way, anybody can drink out of the water fountain. You get what I'm saying? You're living in the same neighborhoods. You're going to the same schools. At least some of you are. Some people still are only going to mainly black schools or mainly white schools. But there's a lot of diversity in this country. There's no reason why you should be viewing someone different based off of the color of their skin and not the content of their character. Focus on the character of the person. Decide if you want to be around them or not. And a lot of this really comes down to class war. A lot of this really comes down to Some of it may come down to the haves and have-nots. I don't know. Everybody should be treating everybody with kindness. Unfortunately, we have these crazy people on TikTok, these crazy people in real life who don't seem to get the message. Okay. And so later on in the show, we're actually going to watch some videos that I saw of some unhinged Carmelo Anthony supporters. And it's just crazy to me because at the end of the day, it's just like, really, you're working against yourself. If you decide you want to isolate from everybody else, guess what? You're going to lose in the market. We're not losing. You're losing because there's actually a benefit to diversity. Okay. And I studied economics in school. That's what I majored in. And I'll tell you, if you want to be a person who discriminates against somebody based off of the color of their skin, you go lose that money. You lose your opportunities. That's on you. But on this channel and what we believe over here, we treat everybody with kindness, and that's not what we're doing. Anyways, so it says, she says, it's time to stand up for myself and others who have been dragged through the mud for defending the facts. People have even commented on my page. I don't care what people say. I'm not looking for validation. God bless you. If you don't agree, that's fine. Keep watching or don't. That's on you. It is, at the end of the day, all people can do is present the facts and focus on the facts of the case. Because what I don't want to happen is I don't want another George Floyd situation. Okay? I was one of those quote unquote activists out there who went to a George Floyd protest, and I quickly realized that is not who I am. I didn't know that. I was thinking I'm going out there to support, George Floyd. I hate the way he passed away. At the time, I'm like, just turned 18 years old. I'm full of emotion, still going through processing being a young adult, all this, blah, blah, blah. And next thing you know, I'm at this George Floyd protest and I'm hearing all cops are bastards, defund the police, all these things. And I said, oh no, that is not who I am. I immediately did my research and I was able to educate my small Instagram audience at that point. And I told them, I said, if you look at the Black Lives Matter mission statement, they are about dismantling the nuclear family. And if you're someone like me who loves family, who loves community, who's passionate about their faith, and meaningful work and making sure that we're able to, people are able to have opportunities so that the country can continue to thrive, you're not going to be somebody who's on board with the whole narrative of defunding the police because you understand that law and order is important. Okay. So I don't want another George Floyd situation. And that is why I'm actively speaking about this Carmelo Anthony situation, because you have the media that's constantly spreading lies, including social media, and people are just believing it. And somebody is waiting on the truth. Somebody may be trying to figure out, okay, what's true and what isn't. And so I hope my page is a place where people can come and see the truth and learn about the truth and move forward and make sure that they're doing the things that they want in their life so they can get the outcomes they want. Don't be distracted with foolishness. Okay. So she says, I am suing Charleston White and Tiffany Binion for defamation. I retained CJ Gisham as my attorney. He is a warrior and aggressive. Okay, which I believe is warranted for a case like this. I cannot do this alone. I appreciate all the help I get. I will remain transparent throughout this process. My reporting on this case will continue. I will not be intimidated or silenced by those who refuse to hold people accountable for their actions simply because of the color of their skin. I am done. Man. It is truly unfortunate that it's come to this. Sarah Fields also has a link or something. It seems like she has a link that says, please donate here. Stand up for investigative reporter Sarah Fields. So if you guys would like to donate to the link, please go check out the link on Sarah Fields' X page. All right, y'all. So I also saw this on Sarah Fields' page. It says, Sarah Fields confirmed documents provided by East Baton Rouge City Courthouse confirmed that Drew Anthony, father of Carmelo Anthony, has an active warrant for his arrest in Louisiana. Now, the apple seems to not fall far from the tree when it comes to being involved in criminal activity, and it is truly unfortunate because since the very beginning of this case, I've said I saw a dark cloud over the defense. I've known since the very beginning that this case did not look good and does not look good for Carmelo Anthony. And parenting plays a big role in how a child decides to develop. Now, parents aren't responsible for everything that the child does because at the end of the day, we all have free will and can make our own decisions. But parents do have a big influence on their children in how they develop and who they become to be. Who they come to be as adults, right? And so it seems like Carmelo Anthony's father is involved in some criminal activity, and he has a prior criminal record. Sarah Field says he failed to appear for a criminal traffic violation for improper equipment. She's talking about Carmelo Anthony's father, and according to the document, his license was forfeited. This means that he either lied to the state of Texas about ever having a driver's license in another state, or he is currently driving without a license. This is the same person. Here's Drew Anthony. This is the same person who has been attacking Sarah Fields in this case, which is absolutely ridiculous. I don't know why he keeps reaching out to her. He's harassing her. He's constantly questioning her. Why is she posting this? Why is she doing that? And my thing is like, sir, Sarah Fields is doing her job. Stop your weird obsession and move forward. You need to focus on educating your son about what's coming to him. Because at the end of the day, your son has made a terrible, life-changing decision that's affecting not only himself, but your family for the rest of your life, potentially, in his life. And so this is not a game, and it seems like Carmelo Anthony's parents are making it a game. They're not taking it serious. Allegedly, they've already spent quite a bit of the money that they got from the Gifts and Go, and they're asking for even more money. And it's crazy because there are people who are still supporting them to this day. It's just ridiculous. We're actually going to get into some videos in just a second. So she says, this means that he either lied to the state of Texas. Okay, we got that. And he prior criminal record also shows, I think she meant to say, his prior criminal record also shows multiple counts of theft. I saw that earlier on another page. So it seems like Drew Anthony and Carmelo Anthony are kind of one and the same, unfortunately, when it comes to being involved with the law. And that's really sad. But we know that the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And Christ comes to give us life and life more abundantly. And so all we can really do is pray for this family that they get their stuff together, and pray for Austin Metcalf's family as they're facing this tragedy due to Carmelo Anthony's bad parents and their bad parenting. Because I have to go ahead and say, Carmelo Anthony's parents obviously have not done the best job. And I don't say that lightly, but I've seen how they've handled this case throughout the past 2 months. And I'm just like, this is bad parenting. And so, like I said, I don't say that lightly. And so, anyways, just wanted to give you an update. All right, y'all. So I saw this video on TikTok and I thought it was quite disturbing. Anyways, let's go ahead and watch it.
Looks like Austin Metcalf dislocated his own shoulder, and he on drugs. And he's a tramp. And he big as I don't know what. Like I said, all of heaven is backing Carmelo.
See, that kind of stuff is crazy to me. She's speaking as if, one, Austin Metcalf is still with us. She's not taking it serious that Carmelo Anthony took an innocent 17-year-old's life. This is what's happening in our country. You have people who don't have a regard for life. They don't. They don't care about their life. They don't care about anybody else's life. Actually, maybe they do care about their life because they are the most selfish people, a lot of them, who are supporting this criminal in his actions.
Just want to come on here and say that when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I'm going to admit I'm wrong. If I was loud when I thought I was right, I'm going to admit I was wrong, and I'm going to be loud about that too. I've done a lot of content in support of Carmelo Anthony. I've been very vocal and loud about my support for him. And like I said, when I'm wrong, I will admit that I'm wrong.
Do y'all think he's about to admit that he's wrong? Do y'all think that this man is about to admit that he's wrong? Is he about to admit that he looked at the police report, he's heard about what was seen on video, and he's changed his mind? Do y'all really think this man is about to admit he's wrong? I just want to know. Do y'all think?
But this is not one of those cases. Yeah, I'm still supporting Carmelo Anthony 100%. It's still self-defense. And if you don't like it, it's still kiss my ass.
See, these people don't want to know the truth. They don't care about the facts in the case. All they care about is the fact that Carmelo Anthony is a black young man and they're supporting him to the end of time. Why is it that the black community at large, not everybody in the black community, but why is it that the majority of the black community is willing to get behind every single criminal that makes headlines? Why is the black community so emotional to the point where they can't even process information correctly and make an informed decision, where they can't allow themselves to critically think about issues because they are so emotionally tied down? Why is that happening? You have to start looking at the structure of the black community. You've got to start looking at the fact that the black home is broken, that there's a lack of fatherhood, there's a lack of leadership, and you have women running the household, and they end up raising men who are soft. And it's not all men in the black community, because there are a lot of amazing men in the black community who are far from that. But you see so many people in the black community, so many men and so many women in the black community who have fallen into this trap of victimhood, the victimhood Olympics. And they are willing to believe anything as long as the black people are the victims. That's a problem. And if the black community wants to improve and wants to better themselves and actually grow beyond where they are, you're going to have to get out of your box. You're going to have to learn from other people, because guess what? We don't know everything. Nobody does. And we can all learn from each other. That's the benefit of living in a country like the United States. You have the opportunity to be around people from different backgrounds. You have opportunities to try different cultures. You have the opportunity to be dipped in culture. I don't want any of you missing that opportunity, because it is something so special. I myself have been dipped in culture. People meet me every single day and they will tell you that I'm dipped in culture. And that's because of the experiences that I've been able to have due to being open-minded and understanding that people are not limited by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. See people beyond what you see on the outside. Okay? All right. Speaking of being dipped in culture, I wanted to show y'all this video to end this show on a lighthearted note, because I thought it was kind of funny. So let's just go ahead and watch it.
Why white people don't make the music that they used to make? And you know what music I'm talking about. I'm talking about that VH1, 6 o'clock in the morning, getting ready for school, MTV in the beginning of the day. That type of music, that Green Day, Avril Lavigne, you know what I'm saying? Like that. I miss you, Mom called. You know, like that music. I don't know what they call it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got rap, we got trap, we got R&B. What do they call that? So why do they make that? Like the Maroon 5s, all of that. I miss all of that music. Where did it go? Why they don't make that anymore?
Well,
That is too funny. I just wanted to end this show on kind of a funny, lighthearted note. One of my favorite songs is Somebody Like That. I think it's by like Keith Urban or something. It came out the year I was born, and I really love that song. I like different types of music, and so I happened to see that on TikTok, and I was like, you know what? We'll just add it. Anyways, thank y'all so much for joining this episode of the Tamera Nealy Show. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit the like button. Also, subscribe so that you're a part of our community, and hit that notification bell so you're aware when new videos go up. I think we talked about a whole lot today, and just basically shared some updates in the show. When it comes to what's going on in the Carmelo Anthony case, I think it's very important to stay focused on the facts and also understand who the case is about. And I'm dedicated to remembering Austin Metcalf every step of the way, because he's not here to defend himself. And so many people seem to forget that, and they make light of his life, but he meant something to so many people. His life mattered. And I just pray for the Metcalf family. Also, when it comes to Gen Z and what Gen Z has going on, this Gen Z stare. Gen Z, if you're watching this, let's just be more social. I think that there's a lot more life that can be lived if you just put yourself out there and have a good time and smile more and be friendly and be open. I think you'll meet a lot of nice people and have a lot of great experiences in life. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I love you guys, and you'll hear from me soon, okay?